Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is a special edition of ABC 10 News. I'm Chris Thomas. We start tonight with breaking news on that massive warehouse fire in Tracy. I want you to go out now, if we can, to show you where this happened. It happened around 1 p.m. this afternoon at the Medline warehouse on Hanson Road.
The Medline distribution
Multiple
facility
warehouses are involved.
which is a 1
Let's go out
million
now
square
to
foot,
a news conference happening as we
supplies
speak.
medical supplies throughout Northern California. Our aggressive fire attack to try to control the fire on the roof. Due to high winds and low humidity and high temperatures, the fire extended quickly across the roof and quickly extended into the building. Within 30 to 40 minutes, the entire building was fully involved. We had issues with water supply initially, and that hampered our firefighting efforts. Ember casting from the original roof fire extended embers throughout our community. We had 3 additional fires. One was 2.5 miles from the incident. Currently, the building is still burning. We have crews in a defensive posture trying to not control the fire, but we'll be here for a couple of days trying to put the fire out. The other fires, one fire was in the FedEx facility that was adjacent to this warehouse. Again, aggressive fire attack, mutual aid resources. We were able to save the FedEx warehouse, which is another very large facility. The other 2 fires, one at our airport and one off of Lambers Road and Valpico Road. The airport fire is 100% contained. The fire at Valpico and Lambers Road is 80% contained, and crews will probably be working on that one throughout the night. That's our update for now. We have a total of 120 firefighters between the three fires. We have 35 pieces of apparatus. We have mutual aid support from Stanislaus County and Alameda County and throughout San Joaquin County. And we also requested an incident command type 3 team from Stanislaus County. They are here, and we've began to kind of bring them into our command structure and work with them. Also, I want to recognize our partners from law enforcement, Tracy Police Department, our Sheriff's Office, and CHP has been instrumental with evacuations and controlling our streets and allowing our firefighters to do their jobs. We have been monitoring the air quality, and we have 3 different monitoring stations, and we have not recognized any air that would require any protective actions. I think that's my update for this evening. I'm willing to take a couple of questions, and again, we have our law enforcement counterparts here that would entertain questions.
Can you talk about some of the challenges you're facing tonight as far as trying to contain this fire?
Yeah, it's a 1 million square foot warehouse fire, and it's still casting embers. So a 1 million square foot fire is an extremely rare fire, not only in California, but in the United States. And so this is a unique fire for us. And so we expect to be here for a couple of days. We're also concerned, again, the embers and the winds, and making sure that we don't have any additional fires that are from our ember casting.
What about, are you guys still dealing with the water?
Yeah, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. We believe it started on the roof, but again, that's just the initial. We have investigators. I think we're going to receive some help from ATF. Our investigators are on scene, but again, it's going to take them a little bit. They're reviewing video right now. It's going to take them a little bit to really get a handle on exact origin and cause.
Is the water starting on the toxicity of the air?
Can you really clarify what was working and what wasn't working?
So we had problems with water pressure initially on the fire. The fire hydrants within the yard of the facility lacked pressure. So we had to connect the fire hydrants on the street from the municipal water system. We don't know why those fire hydrants weren't pressurized. We did look back at the records to make sure they were tested. They were tested in January, the fire system, the fire pumps, the fire hydrants, and the fire alarm system. So those tests were done. It will take us a while to figure out why those hydrants weren't as operational as they should have been.
Chief, are you concerned with the toxicity in the air?
Can you ask again, please?
Are you concerned for the community in the
We are monitoring. We've set up 3 different monitoring stations, and we have not seen any indication that it would require any protective actions at this time. If that changes, then we will put protective actions in place.
What about the sprinklers on the building? Those didn't work?
You know, the fire evolved extremely quickly, and initially we did not see any sprinklers activate, so that's part of our investigation.
Do you know what kind of fuel it was, what it was that was burning that caused it to burn so fast?
Well, this is a warehouse with a variety of commodities that include a lot of medical supplies, and so a lot of cardboard, a lot of paper products, and that extends fires quickly.
A lot of debris coming down in nearby neighborhoods. Is there any concern for folks that might be picking those pieces up?
I don't think so. I think that it's more like charcoal from what we understand. So right now we don't have those concerns.
How's the water pressure tonight?
Water pressure is good from the city hydrants. So we're working off of those hydrants.
Can you tell us how you determine it'll take 2 more days?
Again, this is such a unique fire. There's probably been 3 or 4 of these in the history of our country, this size of warehouse fire. And so we don't know. We may be here for 3 or 4 days. You know, this thing may be concluded in the next 2 days. We just don't know.
Did the fire suppression system go off inside of FedEx?
I don't believe so.
Do you know who called 911 tonight or earlier this afternoon?
We don't. We're reviewing those tapes right now, and we want to interview the person that made the initial 911 call.
How long did it take to evacuate after the 911 call? Was anybody injured?
There were no injuries, and I would absolutely like to make that point. Although we had a very significant fire, again, strong winds, high temperature, low humidity, and the fact that no firefighters were injured, all the employees evacuated safely, and we really had a really challenging firefight, and the fact that everybody is safe is really impressive. So no injuries.
How many people were there?
Normally 900. I think there was 120 when the fire occurred.
What hazardous materials were inside?
We have a list of hazardous materials. We're reviewing those right now, and you can imagine, again, a medical supply company, that there's several types of hazardous materials. So we're reviewing those right now. I don't have a list for you right now. Thank you. We appreciate it. We probably will not have another press release or a press conference until tomorrow morning, probably around 0800 hours. So thank you all for being here.
You have been listening to the very latest update on this Tracy warehouse fire. I want to show you some video from the scene if I can, so you get an idea of just how massive this was. Just look at that wall of black smoke that can be seen from miles away. People are now being told to stay inside their homes. Again, the warehouse was a distribution center for a medical supplies company called Medline. And they did release a statement tonight confirming the fire and saying all employees and on-site personnel have been accounted for. In the statement, they said, quote, "The safety and well-being of our employees is our top priority. We're coordinating closely with local authorities and first responders as we assess the fire's impact, and we'll share more details as they become available." ABC 10's Garj Paul Sunga is there live tonight. He's been following this throughout the evening. We just heard from the fire chief, Garj Paul. What are you learning about this firefight tonight?
Yeah, Chris, we knew that the embers that were coming out of this fire were starting other fires. We just didn't know the extent of just how much kind of damage that it was causing. And the chief had mentioned that this fire is burned about 2.5 miles away. So that just tells you the wind that is coming into play, where it took those embers and flew them into the area. So as I take a look over here, it's difficult to see where the smoke, all that's burning, but as photographer Andrew is about to zoom in, you can still see some of the fires and some of the smoke that continues to burn, and it continues to cause problems. And where we're standing, the wind is actually blowing away from us, but this wind is blowing into the easterly direction. Now, the fire chief did mention that they've set up 3 air quality stations to measure just if this air quality is hazardous. He's says at this point he doesn't believe so, but obviously they will get the data. Now we're approaching 9 hours since crews first got that call, and the fire continues to be stubborn and it isn't being put out very easily. Now officials say the entire Medline warehouse has been lost. Now crews tonight are having to fight this fire, protect the neighboring warehouses, and put out hotspots across the city. First responders raced to Tracy's Medline facility, only to find fire already burning through the roof of a 1 million square foot medical supply warehouse.
It's devastating.
Aerial video shows just how quickly it took over. Roofs collapsed, trucks engulfed in flames, and steel frames twisted and bent as a massive plume of smoke rose over Tracy.
High winds, high temperatures, low humidities made firefighting very difficult.
Those conditions also pushed the fire through the building. Firefighters say they also ran into problems with the facility's water system.
We had water supply issues, and we don't know why. And we're not sure if the sprinkler systems that protect this facility operated appropriately. We made a good aggressive interior fire attack, and the sprinklers were not operating. So that we'll have to find out what happened to the water supply, and that's going to be an after-action investigation.
Another problem, embers sparked smaller fires across the city. Firefighters say this industrial corridor was built with fire protection in mind, but with everything working against them, it created a battle they could not stop in time.
It was a little bit of the perfect storm for this fire evolving quickly.
And so the chief said there were no injuries from this incident, and the crews are going to remain here overnight, making sure this fire does not get worse. The chief, during that news conference we just heard a few minutes ago, he's saying it's likely they're going to be here for the next 3 or 4 days to really try to get this fire under control. Again, that building, a lot of it has been destroyed, but this fire continues to burn hot, and it continues to put off a lot of smoke, dark smoke. So that just tells you a lot of the content that is still inside that building, and the investigation continues as investigators try to figure out exactly how this fire started. Reporting live from Tracy, Garj Palsunga, ABC 10.